this video, we're going to have a look at the circumference of a circle. The distance around the edge of a circle, that is the perimeter of the circle, is called the circumference. Suppose we measure the circumference of different sized circular objects using string and a ruler and divide it by the distance of the diameter. You will notice something interesting. Holding the string, measure around the distance of the circle. You could mark the string with a texture mark that is the length of the circumference, and then using the string, measure against your ruler to find the distance of the circumference. Then, using your ruler, measure the diameter of the circle. Be careful finding the diameter. You need the maximum distance across from two edges of the circle. If you continue to do this with different shaped circular objects, you'll find something really interesting. Be accurate. Pause this video and try it out. Hopefully you noticed that the circumference divided by the diameter equaled a number around 3 point something each time. This number is known as pi, and the symbol looks like this. Rather than writing circumference and diameter in full, we could say that the circumference divided by the diameter equals this number pi. Now, using our calculator, we can see the value of pi, and if you're accurate in your measurements, you may have got really close. So here on this calculator, I have the symbol pi, and it's 3.141592654, and it continues without any reoccurring pattern. So it's approximately 3.14. Did you measure any circles dividing by the diameter where you got close to 3.14? Another way to rearrange this formula is now to say that the circumference C equals pi times the diameter. Since the diameter is twice the radius, we can rewrite this formula finally as C equals 2 times pi times the radius. The diameter is 2r. We just list the coefficients first. So pi is an irrational number, and it is often rounded to 3.14. Interestingly, the fraction 22/7 is quite close to pi, 3.1428, and then it goes different. But it's not exactly equal to, but it's often used to approximate pi. Let's go through some examples on how to find the circumference of a circle. Question A, find the circumference of a circle with a radius 6. Always write the formula, circumference equals 2 pi r. And we're going to use pi on the calculator today to be exact. That is 2 times pi times the radius of 6. If I went 2 times 6, I get 12 pi. That's the most exact answer. But let's round our answers to, say, 2 decimal places. On our calculator, 12 times pi, and I get 37.699. Rounding to do 2 decimal places, I got 37.70 centimetres. That is, if you had a circular object with a radius of 6 centimetres, the distance around the circle, that is the circumference, is 37.7. Let's do another one. Find the circumference of a circle with now a diameter of 9. We could use 2 pi r, but then we'd have to find the radius, which is 4.5, halving, and then doubling. So let's just write circumference, we know, is pi times the diameter. We're given the diameter. That is, our exact answer would be 9 pi, and our approximate decimal answer, 9 times pi, rounding to 2 decimal places, is 28.27 centimetres. What if we're asked to work backwards? Find the radius of a circle with a circumference of 22 pi centimetres. Well, we know that circumference equals 2 times pi times r, And this time it equals 22 pi equals 2 times pi times r. Dividing both sides by 2 pi, I now get the radius equals 11 centimetres. Lastly, if we're asked to find the perimeter of a shape that involves part of a circumference, the perimeter, so this is a sector, will be twice the radius plus the fraction of the circumference that we have, which can be given as theta, the angle divided by 360 times 2 pi r. Here, the radius is 5 centimetres. So we have 2 times 5, which is 10, plus 30 degrees over 360, which is the fraction of the circle, times 2 times pi, times the radius 5. Now we could put this all into our calculator in one hit, or we could start to simplify ourselves. For this video, let's just put it all straight into the calculator. We have 10 plus 30 over 360, which we could simplify, times 2 times pi times the radius 5, and we get 12.62 centimetres, which is the total perimeter. And there you have the circumference of a circle.